Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core Studio for what is probably the final time today. Yeah, I am out of spoiler season shape, as one might say, because I wasn't prepared for this morning. Again, I probably should have just kept sleeping instead of, checking my phone, but I did not because, yeah, if you haven't heard or seen any of the other episodes from today, hey, massive leaks from the upcoming set. And when I say upcoming, I mean not coming for quite a while. March the Machine, the Aftermath, that one. Leaks from that set, which I will say, and I've said this before, hey, these have not been officially confirmed. That being said, they seem to be incredibly legitimate. It would be very hard to fake this. They seem, yes, very, very legitimate. So, I mean, I'm leaning toward they are most definitely real, but it's not a guarantee. So just keep that in mind. Take that with a grain of salt. That being said, some really exciting commanders were spoiled, and one of them is, well, Nacho! Okay, I had to do that. So actually, it's kind of an inside joke between me and Eddie now, but I'm sharing it with you. I was typing Nashi into a text to Eddie, and it auto-corrected to Nacho. So we have decided that now we're just calling Nashi Nacho from now on. So there you go. So I apologize if it annoys you, but I'm probably going to be referring to this as Nacho during this episode. So here we go. Nacho Moon's Legacy, a 3/4 rat shaman with medicine, ward 1 that costs black, green, and a blue. Whenever Nacho attacks, eggs up to one target legendary or rat card from your graveyard and copy. You may cast the copy, and you still pay its cost. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. A quick note, hey, yeah, this is a custom version of the actual card. The actual version is just like, I mean, it was shown off in a video essentially, and it's kind of like blurry a little bit and a little bit grainy. So, hey, here's a custom version. Thank you, MTG.design, for existing. You are fantastic. But yeah, I utilize the exact same art in all the text. So there you go. Basically, exact same thing. Again, take all of it take it all with a grain of salt. There we go. And also blame Eddie in the comments below for me messing up right there and for everything else. But yeah, Eddie was able to, do some amazing work and send over the cards that he would be considering for a commander like this, and also some immediate thoughts. So yeah, I decided to write those down, and I'll share them with you really quick. Eddie's got reactions, and this is what Eddie said directly. Players will build one of two decks. 1, a legend deck with probably 0 rats. Yeah, that's the direction I would go. 2, a rat deck with some helpful legends. Nacho doesn't say legendary creature, just legend. I love that Eddie put Nacho there. Probably needs some mill discard to enable Nacho. Yes, again, it is Nacho. So yes, I definitely agree that players are probably going to go in one of two directions. I'd say more likely most players are going legend tribal. I wouldn't just try to do both, like a full kind of like half and half. You probably, I mean, I guess you could. But, you'd probably go pretty rat heavy if you're going that with, again, like Eddie said, some helpful legends. I wouldn't just split it down the middle. I would probably lean one way or the other. And again, I personally would probably lean more legend tribal. Yeah, it just seems more fun to me personally. Some really cool things that you can do with that. Sultai is a very, very powerful color combination. Gives you access to a lot of cool things. You got a lot of ways to mill yourself, a lot of ways to get things into your graveyard. Keep in mind that unlike some previous commanders that I've talked about, this one does specify your graveyard. Unfortunately, you can't steal things from your opponent's graveyards. I mean, not likely that they have rats in their graveyards, but they might have some legends in their graveyard. So yeah, you are just casting things out of your graveyard. That being said, yeah, that is a good amount of value. You do have to pay for it still, but being able to just kind of get back those legendary creatures, essentially, I mean, essentially, once, because you're exiling it, and then you can copy it. Again, I did just say creature. That was a mistake right there. Any legend. Does not have to be a creature. It can be any legendary card. And yeah, there are a wide variety of those, of course. And of course, plenty of great ones I'm going to talk about on this episode. Yeah, I'm going to bring up some great cards that, well, Eddie brought up and I brought up. And again, blame Eddie in the comments below. And yeah, blame Eddie for the nickname Nacho. It's definitely Eddie's fault, not mine. But yeah, we're going to talk about the budget buys cards that are less than $1, as well as the pricier picks cards that are more than $1. So let's start things off with the budget buys. And I have another note just to remind myself to blame Eddie. There you go. But yeah, let's start things off with the first budget buy, which is just underneath our $1 mark at Kamal's Druidic Vow. Please reprint it. Wizards is a great, really cool card, especially for legendary tribal decks, and it's creeping up there in price. Legendary sorcery for X green. This one could be great for a lot of reasons. Here we go. Look at the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of land and or legendary permanent cards with converted mana cost X less from among them on the battlefield with the rest in your graveyard. Basically, hey, kind of like a Genesis Wave-ish, but for like lands and legends. And you're going to be able to get a lot of lands and legends directly into play with this. Again, with a legendary tribal deck, which is the direction that I would take it. You can dump a lot into play. So there you go. And also, again, because your commander does not specify like legendary permanent or legendary creature, it just says legendary spell, I believe. So yeah, you can, or legendary card. You can essentially get this, copied essentially and recast it out of your graveyard, which is fantastic for even more value. So yeah, basically ramp a ton with this and then recast it and ramp more. That is quite spicy. Next up, speaking of spicy and something that you want to, dump a ton of mana into as well, Old Stick Fingers, one of the weirdest names in Magic, but a pretty cool card. Star that says, whenever you cast a spell, reveal cards to the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards, put all creature cards revealed this way in your graveyard, then with the rest, bomb your library in a random order. Its pattern numbers are each equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So this can actually be a great X spell, essentially, just to kind of mill yourself for a ton. I mean, it's like kind of like a not tutored mill, but kind of like a conditional mill, not conditional, like an abundance mill-ish. I don't even know. Like, it's selective. That's the word I was looking for. We got there. Like a selective mill. So you're like, okay, that creature, cool. Get these legendary creatures into your graveyard so that your commander can then allow you to cast them, essentially, or cast a copy of them. And also, yeah, just have this be pretty huge with a lot of creatures in your graveyard. So yeah, a milling legend can be great for a commander like this. Next up, a kind of derpy card that I think would be pretty good in this one, the Peregrine Dynamo. A 1/5 with haste that says, pay 1, tap, copy target, activate or trigger ability you control from another legendary source that's not your commander. You may choose targets for the copy. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get why they chose to allow you to copy your commander, but still, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Anyways, being able to double up on your commander's activated ability, or not your commander's, anything else other than your commander, there we go, can be fantastic. You've got plenty of other amazing legendary sources, and yeah, get this out of your graveyard to, double up something can be absolutely fantastic. So there you go. Next up, Grimoire of the Dead. I did not realize this one is budget friendly. When was this reprinted? I don't know. Anyways, legendary artifact for 4. Pay 1, tap, discard a card, put a study counter on it, and then tap, remove 3 counters from it and sacrifice it. Put all creature cards from all graveyards on the battlefield under your control. They're black, zombies, other colors and types. Basically, a build your own Rise from the Dark Realms, whatever that one is, essentially. But yeah, discarding, not all that bad with this kind of a commander, again, because you can get access. You can get access again to those legends, essentially, in your graveyard. And of course, yeah, if you are able to pull this off, maybe you've got some proliferate effects as well, potentially to speed this up. But yeah, if you are able to pull this off, there you go. Just, Rise of the Dark Realms, everyone, essentially. Get all the best creature cards out of all the graveyards and probably win from there. And again, if you're milling yourself, you've got access to plenty of creatures in your graveyard to get out. Next up, Kolvari, God of Kinship. A great one. A 2/4, but it's probably not going to be a 2/4. A +4/+2 and Vigilance if you control 3 or more legendary creatures, which, yeah, you're going to. Pay 1 and a green tablet top 6 cards your library. Reveal legendary creature, get in your hand, rest, go and bomb your library. Unfortunately, it doesn't mill you. That would be great if it was like, put them in your graveyard, dump. That'd be great, but it does not. That's okay. It's still a lot of value. A pretty heavy hitter. And on the back side, though, if we need this side, though, we can definitely utilize it. The Ringheart Crest, legendary artifact. Enters battlefield, choose a creature type, and taps for a green special ability to cast a creature of the chosen type or a legendary creature spell. So basically, hey, yeah, you're going to have a bunch of legendary creatures in the deck. This is a great additional kind of just, hey, oh, it's a mana rock if I need it, essentially, kind of card. Or, yeah, just one that can, be a pretty heavy hitter for cheap that can also get you cards off the top. Next up, Sidisi, Brood Tyrant. Yeah, you probably knew it was coming when I started talking about kind of milling. Yeah, Sidisi is great with mill. 3/3, enters the battlefield or attacks, mill 3 cards. Nice! So we can get more legends into our graveyard. Fantastic. Also, hey, if you are milling, you know what? You can also make an army with this. Whenever one of our creature cards put in your graveyard from your library, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Yeah, you can flood the board quite quickly with this. Now, keep in mind, if you hit 2 at the same time or 3 at the same time, you're still only getting 1 zombie. But if you've got separate instances of mill, that can really help you out. And again, milling can be absolutely great for a commander like this. And hey, when your creatures are going out of your graveyard, you can also make an army too. Tormod the Desecrator. Whenever one of our cards leave your graveyard, create a tap 2/2 black zombie creature token. Yeah, you can make a lot of tokens with this, a lot of zombies. You can have a lot of cards leave your graveyard, essentially. And again, it says any card, essentially. It doesn't have to be a creature. It can be any card. Your commander, essentially, if you're getting anything out of your graveyard, there you go. You exile it, Cool. Let's make some zombies with this too. Next up, Heroes Podium. This one can pump your team a ton, an absurd amount. This is a crazy good anthem for a legendary tribal deck. Legendary artifact, each legendary creature you control gets ++1 for each other legendary creature you control. Great, massive. Again, the more creatures in play, the wider you go, the taller you go as well. Your creatures are going to be hitting quite hard. A great way to protect your commander in combat. And again, your commander has menace, so it's a good way to essentially like, oh, that player's like a one blocker, swing through. But yeah, other ways to actually, you know, protect your commander a little bit can definitely be very impactful. We'll talk about another one here in a bit. Pay X, tap, look at the top X card your library, reveal a legendary creature card from one, put in your hand, the rest of the bottom of your library. And again, unfortunately, this one doesn't mill you. It would be great if it did. It doesn't, but yeah, being able to get a legend off the top can be huge. Moving on. I didn't realize this one was budget again. It was just reprinted, I guess, yeah, in Mom's Commander decks. March the Machine. Anyways, 5/4 Human Knight. Whenever another creature dies or a creature card is from a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, a creature card leaves your graveyard, so a counter deals 1 each opponent. Basically, hey, creatures go here, there, anywhere when it deals with the graveyard. You know, essentially you're going to be dishing out a lot of damage again to each opponent. So have fun pinging them. And also on top of that, pay 2 mana, 1 and a black. Each player mills a card, so you can get more things in your graveyard, which is very nice. And then finally, in our budget buys, we've got a Zoni Thousand-Eyed. This one's creeping up in price a little bit. Regardless, a 2/3 Elf Shaman, Undergrowth, enters the battlefield. You get a 1/1 black and green inside creature token for each creature card in your graveyard. And of course, by paying green black sacrifice creature game, while I draw a card. Hey, do you want to just like a massive army of 1/1s? Great, cool. And also with those, you know, 1/1s or any other creature, I guess, you can sacrifice them to start gaining life and drawing a card. Also, if you've got some ETBs with certain creatures or whatnot, you can really take advantage of them by, you know, sacrificing them and then recasting like a copy of them with your commander, so you can utilize that. So yeah, keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that, again, in the description below, there is a card list link for the cards I'm talking about. Again, though, be careful in case, you know, this actually isn't a real commander. I personally think it is, but yeah, if you're a little more hesitant, that's completely fair and fine when it comes to picking up cards for a card that has not been officially confirmed by Wizards. So there you go. Next up, though, let's talk about the pricier picks. Again, I've got yet another reminder to blame Eddie, so blame Eddie in the comments below. Thank you. And to start things off, we've got one of my favorite cards from the most recent set, and that is Rona, Herald of Invasion, a 1/3 human wizard. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, untap Rona, tap, draw a card, discard a card. Yeah, Merfolk Looter as a commander with an untap, essentially, on Legends. Yes, it's like it was meant for this deck, essentially. I mean, I love it as a commander itself. Rona is a fantastic commander. She definitely is, but hey, in the 99 for this deck, this is perfect. Yeah, cast more legendary spells, loot more with this, get more legendaries into your graveyard, and yeah, cast them, essentially. You can also transform Rona if you really want to. Flips over to basically a Phyrexian Obliterator, a more friendly Phyrexian Obliterator these days. 5/5 trample whenever a source deals damage to Rona. That source controller exile a card from their hand at random. It's a land card upon the battlefield. Otherwise, cast paying its mana cost. Sure, you can get some free value out of this. Again, the front side is probably what you really want to focus on, though, with this commander, because the amount of value you can get is absurd. Moving on, Bow of Nylea. I almost said Linea. Nylea. There we go. Attacking creatures you control have Death Touch. That is fantastic. Again, your commander has Menace. That means that your opponents have to block it with at least 2 creatures. When they do, well, they're going to be losing those creatures if you got Death Touch. So there you go. Bow of Nylea is great for that. Also an activated ability, which is nice too. Cool. 4 target cards, your graveyard on top of your library. Probably not going to do that. Counter on a creature, maybe. Deal damage to a creature, gain 3 life, maybe. I don't know. The important thing is the attacking with Death Touch. And again, this is a legendary enchantment, so there you go. Next up, Reki, the History of Kamigawa. The kind of like OG legendary matters kind of a deck, essentially. But yeah, whenever you play a legend spell, draw a card. There you go. What's not to love? Draw a lot of cards with this in play. Next up, Zelix, Sanity Flayer. Another way to gain, you know, value from milling. Whenever a player mills one or more creature cards, you create a 1/1 Black Horror creature token. By paying 1, you can tap, target player mills 3 cards. Again, just another way for you to mill yourself, which is great. But also, hey, when you are milling with this or other effects as well, make some 1/1s. Great. Yeah, some good blockers and such. Moving on, we've got Nylea, Keen-Eyed. This one can help out in a lot of ways. 5/6 indestructible. Roshan to green is less than 5. It's not a creature. Okay, well, we can get there. Also, creature spells you cast cost 1 to cast. Yeah, that's huge, especially when it comes to saving mana not just from the creatures you cast from your hand, but also the creatures that you are casting, you know, from your, well, exiled copied graveyard. Also, pay 2 and a green, reveal the top card of your library. It's a creature card, put in your hand. Otherwise, you may put in your graveyard. There you go. So if you hit creatures, great, they go in your hand. If you hit non-creatures, and that includes other legendaries that are not creatures, you can put them in your graveyard so you get access to them with your commander. Basically, card advantage either way. Next up, Yawgmoth, Thran Physician. 2/4 human cleric, protection from humans. That's nice. Pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, put a -1 counter to 1 target creature, and draw a card. Black, discard a card, proliferate. So, proliferating can obviously help you out in a lot of things. Talked about one of those before. But also, hey, yeah, it also does help with the -1 counter, so you can take your opponent's creatures out. But again, like I talked about, hey, sometimes some of these creatures that you have might have some great ETBs. Sacrifice them, utilize that ETB again by getting it in your graveyard and getting it back out with your commander, essentially, right? So yeah, and of course, you know, great card draw with this too. And again, great ways to take out other opponents' creatures. Moving on, Phoenix, God of Deception. You see nothing. 4/7 indestructible God. As long as your motion blue and black is less than 7, it's not a creature, so you can obviously get that up there. Creatures you control have tab target player mills X, basically where X is this creature's toughness. So essentially, hey, yeah, again, another way to mill a ton. This is one that's just like, you know what, I'm just going to store up 1 turn. I'm not going to attack, you know, with my creatures, essentially. Maybe my commander for value, but I won't attack with my creatures. I'll just keep them all back. And then all of a sudden, right before my turn, I'm like, okay, yep, tap all of them. Mill myself for a ton. Next turn, look at the swath of cards I have access to now. Speaking of which, the final card that I'm bringing up is Muldrotha the Gravetide. And again, really big thank you to Eddie for bringing up all these great cards. And again, blame Eddie in the comments below. But yeah, Muldrotha is a great one, 6/6. During each of your turns, you may play a land and cast a permanent spell of each permanent type from your graveyard. Basically, hey, yeah, get access to your lands as well with this, which is nice, but also on top of your commanders, you know, lovely additional card advantage, essentially. Now you get just the extra, basically, cards out of your graveyard, right? It's just extra value, basically an extra hand, essentially for your permanent cards, and yeah, have fun with that. So yeah, overall, I think this is a very interesting commander, one that I think a lot of players are going to be excited about, and again, definitely the nickname Nacho is going to stick, right? And we're going to see a lot of alters of, you know, Nacho Libre as Nashi. Nacho! I'm not going to do, like, the full, like, 20 seconds that Jack Black, like, holds it, but there you go. So, yeah, blame it in the comments below for all of that. Make sure you check out that card list, link in the description below. Again, this card is not officially spoiled. It is a leak, which means it's not official. Wizards hasn't confirmed it and won't confirm it. And I don't know why I keep doing this, but I am. So yeah, if you are interested in it, consider picking up some of those cards if you're willing to take the, I guess, risk that it might be fake, but it's probably not fake. But yeah, anyways, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.